What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of college basketball action here on Sunday, February 15th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down all the biggest games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a big thank you to me here the day after Valentine's Day, slam that thumbs up button, guys. It does a ton to help get the videos promoted out there on YouTube. It's a big part of keeping me motivated to grind out these videos every single day. Also, take a second and check below and see if you're subscribed to the channel. We've gotten a wave of new subscribers here recently. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, hopefully this year. So definitely check below, see if you can help me make that happen. And also, if you've got a friend out there that's into sports betting or into basketball or into anything we got going on here, definitely send this video over to them, let them know, and see if we can pick up a subscriber or two along the way doing that. Also, get down there in the comments. Let me know anything you want to ask about today's slate, about anything you see here in the videos, about any bets you're looking at. I'm more than happy to get back to you and do anything I can to help get those questions answered. If it's a question about something I know nothing about, like hockey, for instance, I could reach out to the premium handicappers over there at stumpthespread.com and help get your question answered by somebody that knows way more about that situation than I would possibly know. So definitely get down there in the comments. And also check the pinned comment throughout the day. That's where you'll find my favorite picks from every single solitary video every single day. Those pinned comment plays had been on a pretty good run. We went 6-0 there on Friday. Saturday looks not quite so good, unfortunately, guys. Got off to a rough start. We had Clemson plus 12.5. And now some of you might have gotten saved in that one because the line had moved. Clemson plus 14 is what the premium members ended up getting a little bit closer to game time. And if that's what you got, it ended up cashing. They end up eventually, losing that game pretty comfortably there to Duke. A terrible shooting night from Clemson in a game I thought would be a lot closer. We also had Kansas plus 7.5. Peterson coming back did not do a lot of good. He hit a really bad game. Kansas really struggled, couldn't throw in the ocean, and they got blown out by an Iowa State team that might be pretty freaking good. We were on Georgia plus 1.5, and after leading in the first half, the Bulldogs absolutely implode in the second half, get blown out on the road. This is why no one is scared of Georgia when the tournament rolls around. They're just not a very consistent team. We also break down on Baylor plus 6.5. Things were tied up at halftime, so the Bears looking really good there, but they also fall apart in the second half overall, and just couldn't buy a single make from three. Went 2 for 22 from long range in this game. So that was a tough one. It does look like we're going to cash both our dog of the day and our massive lock of the day, though. We had Miami plus 6.5, and anybody that took them straight up, like I recommended it as a possibility, or of course taking them against the spread, was in great shape. They ended up winning this game 77-76. NC State not looking that great, and a huge advantage there on the boards for the Hurricanes. They shot only 18% from three, but yeah, if they would have had a decent shooting day, they would have won this one in a blowout. So well played there for Miami. We also are in great shape there on Arkansas. They're looking very good right now. The first half didn't look so great. They're up 59-45 in the second half with 12 minutes left. So we'll see how things go down the stretch, but that play is looking very good as well. For anybody that took them on the money line or anybody that took them against the spread. Premium picks are looking at another very good day, going 5-2 overall there on college basketball here on the 14th. So a happy Valentine's Day to all the premium members. And guys, that makes us, I can't remember, let's do a little quick double check. That makes us 15-5 over our last 20 premium picks there on college basketball. So very good stuff coming out there. Definitely get over to stumpthespread.com, check out everything over there. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Now let's jump in. We got a pretty big college basketball slate here on Sunday, so let's get after it. First up, we got the Utah Utes going on the road, taking the Cincinnati Bearcats. Utah comes into this game 9-15 on the season. They're currently one of the worst two teams in the Big 12. They're 1-10 in conference play. Terrence Brown is a legitimate leading scorer, 45% from the field, putting up over 20 per game and dishing out 4 assists is great. We loved what we saw from Utah there against Houston. They end up losing that game, but made it pretty competitive before eventually taking the loss. They also played a decent game at Kansas, which we've seen is not very easy to do, so we'll see what they can do in this matchup. Obviously, it's been a pretty tough season for them, not finding a lot of success. They lost at Kansas, doesn't look great, but they've also played some close games against some very solid opponents. Their rebounding is a problem. Their defense is also a problem. So we'll see those come back to haunt them here against Cincinnati Bearcats, who are 13-12 on the season, but they're 5-7 in Big 12 play. They're coming off back-to-back wins, taking down UCF and winning there at Kansas State in an absolute blowout. This is a look-ahead spot for them. They do have a trip to Kansas on deck and then to Texas Tech. So they've got some tough opponents coming up. We'll see if they can stay locked in here against Cincinnati. This squad doesn't have necessarily a monster leading scorer, but their defense and their rebounding are off the charts good. This is a very long athletic team. They put some real monster athletes out there, a lot of size. We'll see if that can be enough to get them over the top here. Now, the question is, can they win in a blowout? Because Cincinnati are 11.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 141.5. Utah is 6-1 against the spread playing on the road this season. They're 15-9 to the over. Cincinnati's 8-7 against spread at home. 18-7 to the under. Kind of a contrast in styles here, guys, but with this being a massive look-ahead spot for Cincinnati, I do think they probably win this game, but I think Utah will find a way to make it very, very close. Give me the Utes here getting double-digit points. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Maryland Terrapins going on the road to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Maryland, they are 10-14 on the season, not having a great time. They're fresh off back-to-back wins, though, taking down Minnesota at Minnesota and then taking down Iowa in a 77-70 win. So that has to help at least a little bit. They got a couple games against Rutgers still on the slate, and that is a team that is below them. Not a lot of teams below them, but there's some teams below them in the Big Ten. This Maryland team, I mean, over the course of the season, it hasn't been great. The defense is not excellent. The rebounding is also not necessarily fantastic. In that win over Iowa, though, things did look a lot better. Maryland shot 35% from three. They had a nice little edge there on the boards. They did turn the ball over 14 times. That's not usually going to be great. And they also did shoot 11 more free throws than Iowa. So maybe that home court advantage did come in handy. But Maryland has been looking a little bit better. Rutgers is having a rough season. They're 2-11 in Big Ten play, 9-15 overall. They are on a 7-game losing streak. They just lost by 12? I guess only 12 against Nebraska, so not bad. They got obliterated at UCLA. They lost at USC. Didn't have a great time against Michigan State. So we'll see what they can do here against, what looks like a more manageable opponent. Tariq Francis, 16.5 points per game, not bad. This squad is not very good on the glass, though, and not very good offensively, averaging only 70 points per game. That is not great. Now, maybe in this situation, it won't come back to haunt them because their opponent is not necessarily amazing. The Scarlet Knights are 3.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 145.5. Maryland is 4-4 against the spread on the road, 15-9 to the over. Rutgers is 6-8 against the spread at home, 14-10 to the over. I don't mind over 145.5 in this game. Neither team is great defensively, so I think we'll see some scoring. Better than the total, though. Give me Maryland here getting 3.5 points. I don't think Rutgers is the better team in this matchup really at all. I know they're playing at home. That might make a difference here, but Maryland getting a free almost 2 buckets here seems like the better value to me. Next on the docket, we're in the Big Ten. We've got the Indiana Hoosiers heading to number 8 Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini. The Hoosiers are 17-8 on the season. They're up to 8-6 in conference play, making a little bit of noise recently. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games. Their only loss was at UCLA. They got that 1-point squeaker of a win over Wisconsin. They really took care of business there against Oregon. Now a big test for them going on the road to take on Illinois. They did beat Purdue not too long ago, but that was a home game for them. They lost at Michigan State in a blowout. They lost at Michigan in a blowout. They've also lost to Nebraska this season. So this is a big, kind of step-up game for them, kind of a chance for them to prove they're worthy of a tournament bid. Lamar Wilkerson is a monster, 21 points per game, 46% from the field. You don't see that every day. They're in the top 80, 85 in the nation total offense. Not a great rebounding team, which could be concerning in this matchup. In the defensive numbers, they're actually looking pretty okay. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Fighting Illini, who are number 8 in the nation. They're 11-3 in Big Ten play. They are coming off back-to-back losses, though. They lost at Michigan State by 3 points, a barn burner of a game there. They also lost to Wisconsin 92-90. Now, we were on Wisconsin in that game and ended up being a crazy overtime thriller. So that was a cool game, but probably doesn't feel that cool if you're Illinois. They're in desperate need of a win here. They haven't played Indiana this season. Now, the Fighting Illini are 21st in the entire nation total rebounding. Their defensive numbers are fantastic. Offensively, they're a very good team. And the odds makers have noticed that as well, guys. Illinois are 10.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 151.5. Indiana is 4-4 against the spread on the road, 13-12 to the under. Illinois is 8-6 against the spread at home, 15-10 to the under. Illinois does have their trip out to California, where they'll face USC and then UCLA on deck after this game. So maybe that plays into this a little bit. Still, 10.5 is a lot of points. This is a bit of a tough spot for me. I think this is an interesting play. I will take the Hoosiers getting those 10.5 points just based on how they've played recently. But with Illinois in a huge bounce back spot after back-to-back really tough losses, and they're a very talented team, this one's not going to make the pin comment. I do think the Hoosiers could keep it close, but this one is a toss-up game for me. Hey guys, before we jump in and break down the rest of this college basketball slate, I got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is stumpthespread.com. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description or the link that's right there in the pinned comment and get over there to see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium picks are on sale because there's only college basketball going on right now. That's the only major sport that's happening at the moment, but NBA and NHL are both going to be back before you know it. So if you sign up for a premium membership at the discounted rate right now, you will still be getting those plays on NBA and NHL when those two sports start back up here very, very soon. We are on a very hot run on college basketball picks, guys. Had a little bit of a down day there on Saturday, going 5-2 overall. We went 4-1 on the 13th, 5-2 on the 14th. On the 12th, it was a 6-2 day, counting 2 NBA plays that cashed. Things have been looking really, really good. 15-5 over our last 20. Here on Saturday, we cashed North Carolina minus 11.5. Big bounce back spot for them. They take care of business. Bowling Green minus 3.5 came through. They had a very good game. UNC Wilmington was a bit of a squeaker, guys. That ended up being a much closer game than I expected, but they do get the job done for us in the end. The premium members got Clemson at plus 14, not the plus 12.5 that I was able to give out here on the YouTube video. So Clemson actually came through as a winner against the spread there for the premium members. Georgia, unfortunately, they looked terrible. Miami, though, plus 5.5. They came through as straight up winners. They're getting the points. And Kansas with Peterson coming back just didn't look quite as good. But another big winning day there for the premium members. So definitely consider getting over there and signing up for a premium package over there at stumpthespread.com. It's at a discounted rate right now. And guys, things are really, really moving in the right direction. So definitely get on board with that. Also, those premium picks are not usually going to match what you see from here in the videos, as I'm not the premium handicapper. Over there at stumpthespread.com, we have a team of experts putting together these plays. Every guy that's covering a given sport has over a decade's worth of experience, and they're putting in a crazy amount of work every single day on those premium plays. So definitely don't miss out on those. Also, don't miss out on the free picks under the free picks tab and the free email newsletter, guys. That free email newsletter has been nuts. We currently have a 63-1 sweat on Straka, who is only 2 shots back heading into the final round of, I guess it's the Pebble Beach Pro-Am or something like that going on. That's the PGA Tour event going on right now. As you've been seeing on the screen right now, the golf plays that have been going out in those emails have been absolutely insane. There's NASCAR stuff going on. I think there's a big race here on Sunday potentially, or the big race was on Saturday. Not a huge NASCAR guy. I never really thought about firing NASCAR in my life, but there are some big edges to have there on the race cars. Also, WNBA, when it's the WNBA season, obviously, UFC, tennis, all the niche sports are covered in those emails, along with all the normal sports you'd expect to see, like NBA, college basketball, and so on. So definitely get on that email newsletter. It's really easy to sign up. You just go to stumpthespread.com and create a free account. They're going to ask you for your name and your email address. That's it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day, just jam-packed with all that great sports betting information. Also, guys, get over to stumpthespread.com and pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie. We've been on a pretty hot run here lately. Everybody should have a little bit of extra coin. Pick up a hoodie and represent the brand. We're selling them right now for $39.99. That's including free shipping, and you can get that hoodie in as little as a week. So love offering those hoodies for sale, but also our YouTube channel members could win those hoodies as a giveaway. Our YouTube channel members, which you can sign up by clicking that little join button right below the video, they get access to our members only giveaways, as well as getting their name up on screen in every single video and getting early access to every single one of our videos. Those are the perks that you get as a YouTube channel member. The giveaways, we run a giveaway every single solitary Monday. Love doing those giveaways with the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video with the name of all the channel members that are signed up by that date. Get their name on the wheel, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. We're around 112 YouTube channel members right now. If we can get that up to 125 YouTube channel members, we'll be doing 2 giveaways every single solitary week. So big shout out to the YouTube channel members. Really appreciate you guys. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you are getting down there in the comments and hitting that like button. Now, let's go ahead and dive back in. We got a lot more college basketball action to cover here on a very, very busy Sunday. Also, worth noting, Auburn is only down by 10 now against Arkansas, so let's hope the Razorbacks don't let go of the rope. Our next game, we get the Denver Pioneers going on the road to taking the Omaha Mavericks. Denver comes into this game 13-14 overall. They're 6-6 out there in the Summit. They have won 3 straight games, winning at NDSU, at UND, and then South Dakota State. They won that one 79-61. We were on Denver in that game. The Pioneers played a really good one. This is a squad with a lot of offensive firepower. They don't rebound great. They don't play defense very well, but they get up and down and they score. They've got a very, very legit leading scorer in Carson Johnson, who has the chance to be the best player on the floor on any given night. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Omaha Mavericks, who are also 13-14 on the season. They are also 6-6 in conference play. They come into this game fresh off a win over STMN, that is St. Thomas, Minnesota. So that was a big, big win for them against a team much better than them in the standings. This squad is a little bit more well-rounded. They don't quite get up and down the way that Denver does. They also don't play much defense, and their rebound numbers are also not really that good. They did beat Denver earlier this season, going to Denver and getting the 84-82 win. Obviously, a nail-biter of a game there. In that one, we saw Denver kind of get hosed. Despite playing at home, they shot about half the free throws that Omaha shot, and they lose this game despite shooting the ball much better from three. So definitely a bit of a bounce-back spot here for Denver. The Mavericks, Omaha, they are -2.5. We've got a total of 160.5. Denver, 11-3-1 against spread on the road, 19-4-1 to the over. That's actually college basketball best to the over. Omaha's 4-4 against spread at home, 13-10 to the over. This is definitely a game we have to look at the over. It would take an awful lot of scoring to get there, but I do think it's reasonable given the trends. In terms of a side, give me Denver and the points. It's a revenge spot for them. They're playing really, really well. I think maybe they'll get a little bit more fair of a shake from the officials in this one. So definitely the Pioneers getting a couple points here is a very legitimate lean. Rapid fire through these games. We're looking at the North Texas Mean Green heading to Temple to take on the Owls out there in the American. Now, North Texas, they are 14-11 on the season, only 5-7 in conference play. They have won 2 in a row. They went to UTSA and got the win, albeit against one of the worst teams in college basketball. Then they took care of business against Memphis, winning that one 76-69. They get to take on Temple here. I don't believe they've faced Temple yet this season. No, they haven't. Jayshon Stevenson is a monster, 17 points per game. This squad, not really elite offensively, but that's not really their game. They are a grind-it-out, defensive-minded squad, and they give only 66.5 points per game. We'll see if they can inflict their pace of play here on the Temple Owls, who are 15-9 on the season, 7-4 in American play. Now, they are well behind South Florida, who's 9-3 in conference play, but we have liked a lot of what we've seen from the Temple Owls this season. They had won 2 in a row, but their last time out was a 77-66 loss there at Tulane, so we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them here. Not a great rebounding team, 319th in the nation total rebounding. They're not playing with a ton of pace. Darian Ford should be the best player on the floor in this game. We'll see if Jayshon Stevenson can give him a little bit of a run for his money here, but these do appear to be two teams that are pretty evenly matched, and the odds makers agree with us. Temple, they're 1.5 point favorites. We've got a total of 136.5. North Texas is 5-4 against the spread on the road, 13-10 to the under. Temple, 6-5 against spread home, 12-11 to the over. This one is a tough spot for me. I do think I'm going to go with Temple since they're playing at home, and it's a bounce back spot for them, but this one feels too close to call. Not going to be making it into the pinned comment. Staying out there in the American, guys, we're looking at the USF Bulls going on the road to taking the Florida Atlantic Owls. Now, South Florida is 17-8 on the season. They're 9-3 in conference play out there in the American. They've been pretty clearly the best team in the conference, but they did lose to Temple the other day at Temple, a crazy 1-point game, but still, that was a loss. They've won 3 straight since then, taking down UTSA, Tulsa, and then winning at Wichita State there by 8 their last time out. A very solid showing there from a spicy Wichita State team. Nelson leads the way for this squad, 16.5 points per game, shooting 60% from the field. The Bulls are actually 12th in the nation in total offense, guys, 11th in the nation total rebounding. Their defensive numbers are very good for a team that plays with their kind of pace. So we'll see what they can do here on the road at FAU. I believe they played FAU already this season and got the 89-75 win. So we'll see if they can replicate any of that. The Florida Atlantic Owls, they're 6-6 in conference play, 14-11 overall. They're currently riding a 5-game losing streak. They just lost 81-73 at Rice. Now they get to come home and face USF. Not a great reward. Devin Vanterpool is a okay leading scorer, only shooting 43% from the field, though. This team also likes to get up and down a little bit. They're in the top 100 nationally in total offense, around 50th in the nation total rebounding, but they are also not a great defensive team. When they faced South Florida, a game they lost 89-75, Florida Atlantic, they shot 32% from 3. They didn't get a lot of respect from the officials. We did see South Florida shoot 31 free throws, and Florida Atlantic only shoot 19. We also saw South Florida dominate the boards 49-35, though, so that is a concern here. The Owls are getting 4.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 164.5. The Bulls are 6-3 against the spread on the road this year, 13-11 to the over. Florida Atlantic, 7-3 against the spread at home, 12-11 to the over. So Some interesting numbers in this game. We do see, maybe a slight look-ahead spot here for South Florida as they have Memphis on deck, but Memphis has been pretty mediocre this season. FAU has UTSA on deck, so really not a major look-ahead spot for either team. I will take the USF Bulls here playing on the road. I just think they're the better team. They were dominant in their first meeting. I know some of that could be attributed to the free throw discrepancy, but really, I think USF is going to get the job done in this one pretty comfortably. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Tulane Green Wave going on the road to take on the UAB Blazers. Now, Tulane, they're 14-10 on the season. They have not had a great season out there in the American. They're 5-6 in conference play. They do have a leading scorer that's pretty legit in Rowan Birnbaugh, but 19-20 points per game when you're shooting 44% from the field doesn't really jump off the page. We do see the Green Wave coming off a big win there over Temple. They beat Memphis, lost to Wichita State, and then beat Temple over their last three. They're a terrible rebounding team, though, guys. It's a big, big problem. They're 487th in the nation rebounding. That is not great. That is definitely a big concern here going up against UAB, a team that got kind of destroyed by earlier this season. They have North Texas on deck, so I wouldn't say it's a look-ahead spot necessarily, but yeah, things could be a little bit sketchy here for Tulane. I mean, we'll see what they can do here on the road. UAB 16-9 on the season, 7-5 in conference play. Not as good as we've become accustomed to seeing these UAB teams play. They are in the top 100 in the nation in total offense, though. They're 26th in the nation total rebounding, which could be a huge advantage for them in this one. They're coming off a win at Tulsa. They've also beaten Rice and UNT and UTSA over the last 5. Their only loss in that mix was a loss to Memphis. So we'll see what they can do. Chance Westry leads this team with 15 points per game and 5 assists. A very solid point guard. We'll see if he can have a good day in this one. The Blazers are 6.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 151.5. Tulane is 4-2 against the spread on the road, 13-9-1 to the under. UAB is 5-8 against the spread at home, 14-10 to the under. With both teams showing trends here towards the under, I think we have to at least consider under 151.5. In terms of a side, I kind of expect Tulane to make this a real game this time around. I know they're playing on the road, which can be tough. The last time these two teams met, we did see Tulane get to shoot an awful lot of free throws. Well, no, I guess it was a similar amount of free throws. Just Tulane had a really bad night shooting from 3. I think they can replicate something, or they can fix that a little bit. Give me the Green Wave here, getting 6.5. Now, guys, we're headed out to the MAAC. We've got the Merrimack Warriors going on the road, just taking the Quinnipiac Bobcats. This is a clash of two teams that are in the top 3 in the MAAC. Merrimack is in the top spot. They're coming off a nice 81-56 blowout win there over Marist. Marist is obviously not great, although not terrible. No, actually, no, Marist is pretty decent, 10-6 in conference play, but Marist really took care of business against them. They blew out Ryder. We'll see what they can do here against Quinnipiac. They beat the Bobcats 83-71 earlier in the season. Now they got to go to the Bobcats. We love what we've seen from Kennedy this season from the Warriors, 17-18 points per game, 47% from the field. This squad doesn't play with a ton of pace. That's why a lot of their season-long numbers don't look that impressive. Defensively, though, giving up 67 points per game is very impressive, and the offense has been getting it done recently, putting up 81, 73, 87, 75, and 67 points over their last few games. So a lot of things pointing in the right direction here as they take on Quinnipiac. The Bobcats, they're 11-5 in conference play. They're coming off 4 straight wins, beating Fairfield, Canisius, Niagara, and a 74-62 win over Siena. Now, that 1-point win over Niagara, that's not exactly a great look. Beating Siena is fine. They didn't have a great showing against Merrimack the last time they faced them, but that's gonna happen. We'll see what happens this time around. Obviously, now Merrimack, they've looked good. Quinnipiac has some things to attempt to fix. In their loss, they shot, this isn't a team that shoots a ton of threes, but they got kind of beaten on the boards. They gave up a lot on the perimeter. They also shot a similar amount of free throws, so no real officiating discrepancy there. The Bobcats over the course of the season are not putting up cartoon numbers. They look a little bit better than some of the ones we see from Merrimack, but guys, the Bobcats are favorites in this game. That is wild to me. They're 1.5 point favorites. We got a total of 139.5. Merrimack is 8-6 against the spread on the road, 17-9 to the under. Quinnipiac is 4-7-1 against spread at home, 17-9 to the under themselves. Maybe you take under in this game. I'm not going to get involved in the total, but I will definitely take Merrimack here to get the win. You can take them on the money line. You can take them getting 1.5 points. Either way, I love the Merrimack Warriors in this spot. Rolling right along here, guys, we got the Drake Bulldogs heading to Northern Iowa to take on the Panthers out in the Missouri Valley Conference. Now, Drake, they've struggled this season. They're 10-6 in conference play. They've now lost 5 in a row, losing to Bradley, Belmont, Illinois State. Valparaiso, and their last time out an 80-70 loss against UIC. Going on the road to take on Iowa State is not an easy play. They will still face the Panthers twice this season. Jalen Quinn is leading this team with nearly 20 points per game, and that looks great, but they're only 173rd in the nation in total offense. They're not a great rebounding team, and their defensive numbers are very subpar. So we'll see what they can do here against a very defensive-minded team in the Northern Iowa Panthers, who are 16-10 on the season, 8-7 in conference play. They had won 3 in a row, but then Belmont stopped that winning streak. They, were playing at Belmont now and only lost by 5, so they did keep it pretty competitive. And the Panthers tend to do that a lot. They're a very good defensive team, giving them only 61 points per game. Obviously, the rebounding numbers look bad, but that's mostly because of pace of play. They don't get up and down. They don't shoot it a ton. They are just trying to grind it out on defense, and they're good at that. Trey Campbell leads the team in scoring, 14 points and 4 assists per game. This is a team that wants to play a ton of defense. Now, they are 9.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 136.5. Drake, they're 4-5 against the spread on the road, 16-9 to the over. Northern Iowa is 7-6 against the spread at home, 16-9 to the under. This is a little bit of a close spot. That feels like a very big number there for Northern Iowa, and that's why we're going to lean just slightly towards Drake. Taking an underdog in a conference game never feels that bad, but guys, nothing from this one is going to make the pinned comment. Next on the dock, we got another Missouri Valley Conference game. We've got the Illinois State Redbirds going on the road to take on the UIC Flames. Now, Illinois State, they're 17-9 on the season. They're 9-6 in conference play, so some things have gone their way. They're coming off an 86-64 beat down there against Valparaiso, but right before that, they lost at Evansville, so that's not exactly one you're supposed to be losing. We'll see what they can do here against UIC. They did beat them, or they lost to them 63-59 a bit earlier in the season. So we'll see if they've got, revenge on their minds here. This is a very good defensive team. Averaging 77.5 per game isn't necessarily bonkers. Chase Walker's their leading scorer. He's scoring around 14 per game, shooting 53% from the field. So you'll love to see that. But this has not exactly been a team that's lit the world on fire. Now, the Flames, they come into this game 14-12 on the season. They're fresh off a win over Drake, a nice 10-point win, and they could use it after losing back-to-back very competitive games there, losing at Murray State and against Belmont. This team, not necessarily nuts team on the boards, but they're decent offensively. They're a score by, kind of committee type team, don't really have a monster leading scorer. In their, overtime win over Illinois State earlier this season, a 63-59, very, very close game. UIC really struggled shooting the ball from 3. They also shot literally half the free throws that Illinois State shot, so that's a little bit tough. They did have an edge on the boards, which could help, and they are at home for this game as well. Getting a 1.5, we've got a total of 138.5 for this game. Illinois State is 3-6 against spread on the road, 14-11 to the under. UIC is 5-4 against spread at home, 12-12 to the over-under. I'll take UIC. I don't know why they're underdogs here at home and against a team they've already beaten. Obviously, it was a very close game, but I do expect UIC to get a little bit more respect from the officials here on their home floor. I definitely think the Flames are in good shape here, especially getting a 1.5. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Green Bay Phoenix as they go on the road to take on the Milwaukee Panthers. Now, Green Bay, they come to this game 15-12 on the season. They're all the way up into second place, only 2 games back of Wright State for the top spot in the horizon. They've won their last 3 in a row, beating Northern Kentucky, beating Detroit Mercy, and then a 76-59 win there over Purdue Fort Worth their last time out. So very good work there from the Phoenix. Now, this squad is not necessarily great on the glass. That is a bit of a concern. They have beaten Milwaukee already once this season by 3 points, but their rebounding numbers are something to keep an eye on. They're also not necessarily amazing defensively, although they have looked quite a bit better on the boards here recently. So we'll see what happens in this one. The Milwaukee Panthers are 10-17 on the season, 6-10 in conference play. They're coming off a win over IUNI. That's not a very good team. Obviously, one of the worst teams in the worst team in the conference. One of the worst teams in the nation. This Panthers squad is technically better on the boards than Green Bay, although the last time these two teams faced each other, we saw pretty even stuff there on the glass. We saw Green Bay win this game despite Milwaukee shooting 45% from 3. That's going to be a little bit tough for them to replicate here. We'll see if they can do it. The Panthers don't have necessarily a monster leading score or anything like that. They are 2.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 146.5. Green Bay, they're 7-5 against the spread on the road, 13-12 to the over. Milwaukee, 3-8 against the spread at home, 14-12 to the under. I don't really see a lot of value on the total in this game, but I definitely like the Phoenix here getting 2.5 points. I think they're the better team. I don't mind taking them on the money line in this one at all. They've been a good road squad, and getting a free bucket here makes it all the better. Next on the docket, we got one of our ESPN games. We've got the Davidson Wildcats going on the road to take on the Dayton Flyers. Now, Davidson, they come into this game 15-9 on the season and won their last 2 in a row, although their last one was over a non-conference opponent. A little bit weird to see them playing a non-conference game this late in the season. The Wildcats have not necessarily been great this year. Their defensive numbers look okay, are actually very good, but they're not a great team on the boards. Their offensive numbers are nothing to get too excited about either. We'll see what they can do here against Dayton, a team they have not faced yet this season. Will only face once this year, but it's not like the Flyers have been amazing this season. The Flyers are also 6-5 in conference play. They're 15-9 overall. They're coming off a loss at VC where they got pretty much blown out. They did beat St. Bonaventure before that, but yeah, this Dayton squad is just straight up not good. Javon Bennett, 16 points per game, but he's only shooting 37% from the field. They're in the 400s in the nation total rebounding. I do not have a lot of good stuff to say about Dayton this year. It's been a bleak season. The Flyers are 3.5 point favorites here at home. We got a total of 141.5. Davidson is 5-2 against the spread on the road, 11-11 to the over/under. Dayton is 5-8 against the spread at home, 14-10 to the under. I mean, this is another spot where I like the underdog. Give me the Wildcats here getting those 3.5 points. I don't think Dayton really deserves to be much of a favorite against much of anyone right now. They've been really, really bad. I don't have a lot of good stuff to say about them, and the Wildcats have at least been feisty on defense, so Davidson, I think, has a chance in this game. Next up, guys, we're back to Missouri Valley Conference. We got the Belmont Bruins going on the road to take on the Murray State Racers. Now, Belmont, they've been the best team in the Missouri Valley this season. They're 13-3 in conference play, 23-4 overall. They did have that tough loss against Bradley, but they bounced right back with a 91-86 win over Northern Iowa. Now, it wasn't necessarily a blowout to this team. I mean, I'm not going to say they get no blowouts, but they're not blowing out everybody. Tyler Lundale leads the way for them, 16, 17 points per game. Brigham Rogers shooting 70% from the field, but only 7 or 8 points per contest. They're in the top 50 in the nation total offense. They do play some defense. They're a decent rebounding team. So we'll see what they can do here against a Murray State team that they dismantled 103-86 earlier this season. The Racers are 19-8 on the year. They're 11-5 in conference play. They're fresh off of a 2-point win at Indiana State, which I don't know if you're really supposed to be playing 2-point games against the 10-16 and 3-12 in conference play Sycamores, but the Murray State Racers, they get after it on occasion. They're 30th in the nation total offense. They get up and down. They want to get after it. Their rebounding numbers are okay. Their defensive numbers are pretty weak, and that is a big concern here because they weren't able to defend anything Belmont wanted to do earlier this season. In that win, Belmont shot 50% from 3. They actually shot less free throws in the game than Murray State, kept things even on the boards, and overall just looked like the better team. I'm very surprised to see the Racers as 1.5 point favorites at home in this game. We've got a total of 169.5. Belmont, they're 7-5 against the spread on the road, 15-11 to the over. Murray State, 8-5 against the spread at home, 15-12 to the under. I really like Belmont in this spot. Maybe I'm missing the revenge angle here for Murray State. Maybe the Racers are going to come out and do something crazy, but I mean, both teams played well in that game where Belmont won by almost 20. They won by 17 points, giving the Belmont Bruins here on the road as slight underdogs. Next up, we're looking at a Big East showdown. We got the Seton Hall Pirates going on the road to take on the Butler Bulldogs. Seton Hall, they've been kind of all over the place this season. They're 17-8 on the season. They're 7-7 in conference play. They're fresh off an 87-80 win over Providence, and Providence has been a tough team to beat this season. We did just see the Pirates lose by 1 at Creighton. Didn't have a very good time at Villanova. In their matchups this season against St. John's. They kept that one very, very close. They also almost knocked off UConn, so seems like this squad is just really, really close at being able to get over the top and be, close to an elite level team. They're very good defensively, not great offensively. They don't have a go-to leading scorer, so that can create some problems here. We'll see if it matters at Butler. The Bulldogs, they're 4-10 in conference play, have not found tons of success. They did win at Seton Hall 77-66 earlier this season. We liked what we've seen from them offensively, but they don't play much defense. They will probably have the best, at least offensive player on the floor in this game in Finley Bizjack. He's had a very good season. In their win there at Seton Hall, we liked what Butler was able to do, in terms of getting to the free throw line, but they shot 41 free throws in that game. Seton Hall shot 25. Neither team could throw it in the ocean from deep. We saw Seton Hall dominate on the boards. Guys, this is a massive, massive revenge spot. Butler's getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 142.5. Seton Hall, not bothered on the road. They're 6-2 against the spread away from home. They're 15-10 to the under. Butler, 7-7 against the spread at home, 13-11-1 to the over. Guys, I will definitely take Seton Hall. This is for sure going in the pinned comment. It's a massive bounce back spot, or not bounce back, but it's a massive revenge spot for the Pirates. They're playing well coming into this game. They need all the wins they can get to boost that tournament resume. I think they lock in and take care of business here. They've got DePaul on deck, so I don't think it's a look-ahead spot. Definitely give me the Seton Hall Pirates here playing on the road. Last but not least here, guys, we got the Oregon State Beavers heading to Seattle U to take on the Red Hawks. Oregon State, they're 14-13 on the season. They're coming off a win over the San Francisco Dons, although the Dons have been pretty mediocre in general this season, unless I've been missing something. I guess they haven't been that bad, but overall, the Beavers not killing it this year. They're 455th in the nation total rebounding. Their offensive numbers are not great. Have they played Seattle yet this season? Oh, yeah, they did. And they got a 3-point win, and that was a home game for the Beavers, so we'll see if they can replicate any of that here as they go on the road. Now, Seattle U, they come into this game at 15-11 on the season, only 4-9 in conference play, so not having a great time out there in the WCC. We'll see. We'll see what they can put together in this one. Losing 54-53 at Portland, though. That was not a great look. This has been a team that's been much better at home than on the road. They have played, 4 out of their last 5 on the road, so it's got to feel good to be back home. They have won their last 2 home games in a row. I mean, this is a good defensive team. Their rebounding numbers are better than what we've seen from Oregon State, and they're a decent offensive squad. Not like they've got a ton of monster leading scores or anything like that. I'm not sure if it's enough to justify Seattle being 6.5-point favorites, though. We got a total of 137.5. Oregon State is 5-4 against spread on the road, 15-12 to the over. Seattle 5-7 against spread at home, 15-9 to the under. I will take Seattle here. They've got a little bit of a home court advantage. They got a pretty nice spot up there, and I do think they can make life tough on Oregon State. Winning this game by 7 might be a bit of a big ask, so this one, it's not going to make the pinned comment. Guys, that's all the games we have on the slate for today. Arkansas did take care of business, so lock in a win there on our lock of the day. Obviously not our best effort here on YouTube, but the premium members did have a very good day, and that's why you need to get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out all the good stuff we offer over there. The premium picks, the free picks, and that free email newsletter. Definitely get in on that. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Both of those things really, really help get these videos promoted out there. Get down there in the comments. Ask me anything you want to about today's slate or any questions you have. And guys, we're more than happy to get back to you. And thank you all for watching. Make sure you get in on the action. And we'll see you right back here again tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.